I know you're out there. I can feel you now. I know that you're afraid. You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change. I don't know the future. I didn't come here to tell you this is mine.
Good morning.
When I was 16, my dad and my stepmom got me and my stepbrother a vehicle. At the time, I didn't really know what I wanted, but mine was an '03 Jeep Cherokee white. It was like one of the few times in my life where I got a gift where I was like, holy shit, this is insane. The other time was some go-karts, but that's another story. As a lot of inexperienced drivers do, I wrecked the car. It was a sun glare. It was, I was turning, sun glare, car was like, skirt, boom, car goes in the ditch. I almost got rammed. As soon as I get out the car, I call my dad immediately. My sister, she calls the police. And if you know both of us, that tells a lot about our personalities just by that one moment when I was like 16 and she was like 13. It's crazy. Long story short, I needed another vehicle so my parents, wouldn't have to drive me to school every day because, you don't want to do that forever. So my dad bought my great granddad's used 2001 Ford Contour tan. If you know anything about Ford Contours, it is a grandpa car to the max. These are no like get excited about cars, but I was thankful to have it and I drove it from 17 to 23, like finishing up high school to going to college in Clemson to back to Columbia. That car took me a long way, so I appreciate it. And it barely had any issues, but by the time I started my business, my lack of discipline and care for the car just it caught up with me and it became a sinkhole for all of my funds. At 23, my mom hooked me up with a used car spot, somebody that knew the family, and I was able to get a car without having any credit at 23. Yes, by 23, I had already destroyed my credit. Be careful. I went out with my dad and we test drove the '08 Dodge Avenger, which was definitely a step up, but it was no car that I really wanted, but it was closer to what I wanted, so I was okay with it. But still, I spent $5G on the car and it was probably worth $2G, and right now it's worth like $400, so I don't know, I just wasn't excited. It wasn't something that I actually really wanted. I was having to pay monthly for something that I didn't really want, and that bothered me. Fast forward 4 years later, and through a series of unfortunate events, I was able to get the 2017 Mazda CX-5. If you watched the last video, I spoke on it briefly. I did tons of research on it. I knew I wanted something sleek, I wanted something sexy, I wanted something as close to luxury as possible without having to necessarily go into that price budget. And the Mazda CX-5 was it. Killed it in every category. I needed something that I could pull up to clients with and feel professional, but also pull up, bumping some music and feel cool, cruise around the city. It's got the sunroof. It's got all the things that I need to feel how I want to feel. Having a nice car in no way means you're happy. It doesn't mean you're professional. It does not mean you're cool. But in this virtual world, perception is truly reality. Even to me, I don't know, it means something to have a nicer car. So I was running the other day, and I started to think about how it's all about confidence, and it's all about having the mentality. It's just all about the mental. It's all about, I can do this. I know I can do this. I'm doing it. So having a vehicle that I actually wanted, that felt like it was on my level of where I'm at on the come up, it makes me feel like I'm becoming the person that I want to be. So it's not necessarily about having the nice thing. It's not about having the nice car. It's not about this hugely material world, even though, in a way it is. But really it's about, I believe I'm the man that can be in this vehicle, that can pay for the vehicle, that can, that this vehicle represents where I am in life. I'm not just buying this vehicle when I'm really so broke that I can't do anything at all. I'm purchasing this vehicle because it represents where I'm at. And that boosts my confidence. That reminds me that, yo, I am where I'm at. So I saw with my last video that transparency and vulnerability really speak to people. You know, I had a lot of people hitting me up, pretty much checking on me because they want to make sure that I'm okay, which is a beautiful thing. But this reality that you create online isn't necessarily the real reality. I've been going through a lot of things over the past 3-4 months. You just don't know because I'm a polished dude and I'm creating polished content. So it's not something that I share until I'm ready. So with the last video and with this video, I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't want you to think that I'm making these videos just to show off or to brag or anything like that. It's really capturing the feeling of how I feel during this moment and why I feel that way, and trying to connect with you, be transparent, be vulnerable, be humble at the same time. Ultimately, me getting this car was the epitome of me manifesting what I want, proving to myself that I can do it, and proving that I can create the life that I envision for myself. I also just like nice things, and that's okay too. In the past, I've gotten myself into trouble by prematurely getting these nice things. It's something that I struggle with, but everything is worked out. And I think it's because, you know, sometimes they were irresponsible decisions, do not get me wrong. But a majority of the time, I take the risks so that I can step up and move to the next level. So far, so good. The only bad thing is that I did destroy my credit, which I'm gonna make a whole other thing on that because you shouldn't do that. Don't do that, please. Don't. I don't really know if I can put into words what it meant for my mother to come with me to this CarMax after I did all this research, trust me to co-sign on this vehicle, help me pick it out, test drive it with me, do all the things. I think that's a story for another day, but like, that was everything. And I think it was a pivotal moment like for our relationship and just like this next stage of life. And I got to kind of go into that with her after all the struggles and everything that we've been through. So that was really cool. Not only that, but the past 7 years I've struggled so hard and I haven't had any vehicle that I felt super good about. I haven't really spent money on myself. It was all business related things. I mean, that's how I got into this credit card debt, because I was buying drones and computers and this and that. And yeah, I like those things and I enjoy that technology and things like that, but it was for the business. It was for to grow. It was for to make money. It wasn't to just go play around with. I mean, half the time I didn't even practice enough with the stuff, and I'm still learning how to use my camera that I've had for a certain period of time. So it's not for me, but this vehicle, this Mazda 2017 CX-5, this was for me. And I felt like I deserve it. And that's something that it's worth it. To finally get something like this for myself really put my self-esteem and my confidence back where it should be. It made me get up off my ass and just start grinding and start figuring out how to make this next stage of life a step up and not stay stagnant. Confidence, in my opinion, is really about being the person that you believe you can be. And if it's not who you believe you can be, it's the people that you look up to, or I hate to use the word jealous, but you start to gain confidence when you become that person, when you are slowly but surely moving towards the man or woman that you envision. That's where confidence comes from. And you get down if you're not becoming that person because you know you can. That's my opinion. And maybe that's not always the case. But I know for me right now, what I'm learning about confidence is I become more and more and more and more confident when I'm becoming the man that I want to be. One of my favorite quotes, it's on my high school yearbook, still is, success is the courage, the determination, and the will to become the person that you believe you were meant to be. Vroom, vroom, baby. Let's get it. What's going on? We're out here at Paradise Point, and I just want to show you all a little bit more about what I like about a vehicle, and we're gonna give it a bath, clean it up. Yeah.
on your dude. What's up? Does your thing feel like?
Yeah, standard is standard.
Mess up to that song on TikTok.
You look at that
I'm
after
Mash
the
on
drive.
Instagram if you want to go to watch it. I'm Ryan Sampson for Spider Harrison on Hits
Hey,
One,
right.
and if you look at this guy's Insta story, it appears
Did
as
you
though
hear
he
what
was
she was
FaceTiming
saying?
with a dog
Drive right.
yesterday. Coney
Take
Gray.
right.
Right, 2 lights.
Right.
Feels good. How does it look? How do I look?
You look great.
Alright.
Wait a minute, let me take a picture of you.
See a lot of my head in this. Is that how it's supposed to be? Hey, look into my eyes.
Woo! Woo!
Alright. Alright.